Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Zero Hours with Mikey Brown here. Uh, Start off by saying, I really wasn't planning on doing another one of these today. It's the first time I've ever done one back to back days. So had a lot on my mind, and man, I just could not wait on some of this stuff. Um, Personally, over the weekend, well, it was Friday, we lost our family pet, little black pug. He was he was my buddy for 11 years, and I tried to let some other stuff go because I was thinking about that, and like, just I miss my little fur kid, and thought, well, I just relax. I had Monday scheduled off already because of the snow we were supposed to get. I could have took it and went to work today, but to keep my mind off of it, I probably should have now, but a lot of other stuff came in today that just made me feel like I had to have this time, and I debated it all day. I was like, what's the point? I'm just going to get frustrated. I'm going to get mad. So, yeah, it was a back and forth all day. But I decided I needed to do one today. So, I guess we got several subjects to go over, and I'm not really happy about a lot of them, but I'm going to dive in here with the first one. Got up this morning. I was, talking to my wife before she went to work, and I was scrolling through good old fact book. I see one of our local news agencies post that BLM, the movement, has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, "Is this some kind of a joke? Am I on the Onion? I mean, what the hell's this?" That's legit. BLM is actually being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. We've gone full libtard in this world. I mean, I just unbelievably, I can't understand that. Got a group that their mantra is no justice, no peace, but they're being nominated for a peace prize. How many riots did we have over the summer? Looting, burning shit to the ground, people dying. But they're going to get a peace prize or nominated for one. And I also heard later that Stacey Abrams was nominated for one. So there you go. It just got better from there. So, hey, why not just nominate Antifa? Well, let's do it. And we can go to the black militia group. Well, we'll nominate them too. I mean, they're upstanding citizens. And if we're going to do all that, you gotta, at this point, you'd have to include the Klan, right? You'd have to include Proud Boys to make it even. I mean, because, hey, you're calling Trump people domestic terrorists, but, and that's the thing. I heard this blowhard Scarborough, whatever the hell his name is, on MSNBC. I've seen a clip of it where he's just torching the right, Republicans for trying to forget. This is trying to sweep this under the rug, the whole Capitol thing. It's the insurgents, people got to go pay for it. And I'm not arguing that fact, but where was the outrage for Portland? Where's been the outrage when they took over 6 city blocks in Seattle? Where was it when they burnt a Wendy's to the ground in Atlanta? Where's your outrage with Minneapolis getting burnt to the fucking ground and looted, and Kenosha, Wisconsin getting burnt down all over some shit that he later, this past week with Michael Strahan, admitted he had a knife. Yeah. Yeah, he probably figures he's safe now. It's everybody's kind of forgot about that. Everybody's just, Jacob Blake's a hero. No, he had a knife. He's guilty as shit. He got exactly what he needed coming to him. He was justified shooting, just like Rashard Brooks Just like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd had all ample time. The way he died was bullshit. I'm never gonna deny that. But I mean, here we go. You won't give Trump any credit for the Middle East deal, which was no other president could get it done, right? Clinton couldn't get it done. Bush couldn't get it done. Obama didn't even try. Trump goes in there and gets Israel to the table for NATO and all this stuff. Him and Kushner and these guys, they're not even going to get looked at for a Peace Prize because it's the Orange Man. And the Orange Man's bad. BLM good, Orange Man bad. That's the philosophy of what we're at now. I mean, I just could not believe when I read that. It's like, this cannot be possibly real. And it is. A pure domestic terrorist group. It's not, and here we go again with this. Black Lives Matter, sure they do. I'm all for equality with other people of color. I'm not for the movement that goes out and burns shit down and, and you get some cops' face and, want to, tear down the blue and all this stuff. And they did it for the whole year of 2020. And they're still not happy. They were still rioting in Portland just the other day. Rioting. Not peacefully protesting, rioting. Probably getting some flat screens and shit like I say all the time. But that was my wake up this morning. It was like, are we insane? Is this clown? Are we in clown land? Twilight Zone? Where the fuck are we right now? There's no way possible this is America. There's no way possible this is United States. And I mean, equality is great, but now you're telling us that they're a step above. They're going above them. Now they're above us, and they're going to get a peace prize for protesting and rioting because it's the right thing to do. And all the murders that happened over the summer, or the deaths, I should say. I shouldn't say murders, deaths. But we have an insurgence at the Capitol. But if you watch the videos of that, yeah, there's some assholes there, and they should go to jail for what they did. I don't see anybody trying to sweep it under the rug, but we're like counting the score. It's like, okay, you had 8 riots this summer, and we had 1 insurgence because it was the Capitol building. Let's go back a few years. If you're going to do this, if you guys are really going to fucking do this and say, well, yeah, Mike, just understand it's the Capitol building. It's an attack on the Capitol. If we would have wanted to overtake the Capitol, we would have. It would have been burnt to the ground. But let's go back to, the Peace Prize people, the BLM. And they have a lady on their board or whatever she is. She's up there in the rankings of the BLM. Was convicted and went to jail for bombing the Capitol building in 1983. But she sits on the board of this thing, but they're peaceful protesters. They're not a terrorist group. I mean, one of the big wigs in there just happened to blow up the Capitol in 1983. And go back to 1983, I know, but still, that personality is still there. It's kind of like when y'all used to just get on Trump's ass because he had associations or whatever with David Duke and the white supremacist shit, and he denounced them 26 times. If you don't believe me, find the YouTube video. It shows every time he denounced it. I mean, I don't make this shit up. You don't want to hear everything, but I don't make it up. Just like I don't want to hear everything. The BLM might have done some good somewhere. It didn't get any press. It's just like anything the right does good. Doesn't get any press. But all I've seen was the looting, the rioting, and the chants, the death to police. Every Trump supporter in the country is a white supremacist racist. Even the black ones, even the Latino ones. We're all racist. We're all supremacists. 74 million deplorable racist piece of shit. Your rhetoric doesn't make any sense. And I know you're going to say the same about mine, but listen, I'm dishonest here. if the Proud Boys would have got nominated, and they didn't do it. I mean, they really didn't do much. The Capitol, they might have been there. I don't know. But if the Proud Boys would have had riots all summer, and they would have been the instigators of these riots towards the election, okay? And they would have got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, I would have said the same thing I'm saying now. That's what the fuck? That is bullshit. There's no way in God's green earth gives some people, a group like that, a movement or whatever you want to call it, a damn peace prize. You just don't do that. It's zero, makes zero sense. And you know, I thought about when I was going to do this vlog podcast today that this one might be the one that gets me in trouble, because I'm not gonna keep shutting up about this shit. That's fucking ridiculous. A peace prize for them fucking hoodlums that go out and, I mean, like I said, if they have positive press, give it to me. Let me know. But BLM to us, me here in the Midwest, people say it stands for burn, loot, murder, because that's, and I know it don't, but the movement was overboard. The movement was extreme, just like Antifa, whatever you want to call them. So if BLM's getting the Peace Prize, so should Antifa. So should the Proud Boys then, you know. But you're calling me a domestic terrorist, a guy that goes to work every day, pays his taxes, and comes home to small town minimalist living I do, and I'm going to get bashed for being a white supremacist racist just because I voted for Donald Trump. And I don't know how many times I've had to mention in all these podcasts and videos that I didn't think the man was squeaky clean. I didn't even think, I don't know him as a person. He might be the biggest asshole on the planet. But he was a good president. And you could say, oh, yeah, he lied, blah, blah. But every time we've asked for proof, nobody can produce anything. It's orange man bad syndrome. That's all it is. Now, Biden, since he's been in the office, he signed a lot of papers, like he's signing school yearbooks or something. He's signing all these executive orders that are just crippling. And I'll get to that here in a minute, but it's just going to cripple the country. And my two favorite words about what the American people on the Democratic side say always becomes relevant. Nobody cares, because orange man bad's gone. You know, they just don't give two shits what the repercussions are going to be. They just want it. They want it now. Then I saw another article that kind of set me off, and it's like, this goes with the unity, equality, and all this shit that I've talked about in the past, and it's still talking. So now they want all the embassies, the United States embassies, are going to fly the LBGQT, whatever, however many things there is now, flags at their embassies. My question's simple for that. Why is that? I mean, okay, America can support LBG community, no problems. I mean, we're pretty moderate with that stuff in this country now, I think, compared to Christ, the Middle East, you'd get killed for it. A lot of other countries still not accepted. America's pretty liberal with that. And, that's one thing the liberals always have said, some of it I've always went along with. Lesbian, bisexual, gay, I have no problem with that. Queer, whatever you want to call it. I have no problems with any of that. I mean, I'm not a fan of transgender. I've said that before. I don't understand it, but I'm not saying I want to go out and stone you to death like they would in the Middle East. I'm just saying, hey, it's not my preference. Just like being gay is not, or whatever. But transgender just seems a little far for me. I just don't climb on board with that. But I'm not going to bash anybody for doing it. They want to do it, do it. I ain't paying the bill for it. I don't care what you do. You can be whatever you want. And I'm blatantly telling you I don't understand it. And I probably never will. Maybe I'm just too old. Man, I just can't. wrap my mind around. I've never had those kind of feelings that I wanted to be a girl. I thought I was a girl. So it's not fair for me to say, well, you're wrong. You're about. It's like the religious people. You're abomination. You're all going to hell for being gay. I don't buy that. Love's love, right? I still stand by that. I just don't understand the transgender. But off topic. But going to the flag situation, I thought we were Americans. I thought we were the United States of America. I thought American flag should encompass a lot. Actually, the American flag should be the only flag that matters at an embassy to a foreign country. I mean, we're so hopped up on these flags now. It's like I can't fly. I couldn't fly a rebel Confederate flag in front of my house. Probably have the cops here, or somebody would threaten me or want to tear it down. Even though to me it means pride in the South, to other people it means hatred. And they always swap back to Charlottesville. They act like, okay, there's nothing else that has ever happened since Charlottesville. There wasn't. It was yesterday. There was a Black Lives Matter activist. Doesn't matter, but a black woman, and she killed her adopted white baby just because it was white. I think you gotta scrape to hear about that shit. I mean, I don't get what that's no big deal. And there's another one with that. It's just kind of not on the LBGT, but this is all about the unity and the people saying they want unity and they don't want division, but they adhere to this crap. Okay, and it was on I think it was BitChute this time I was on. And there was somebody called Black Enterprise, maybe. It was like a page. And were in the video section. Might have been Facebook. But they made a headline, of this offensive lineman from the Seahawks. This offensive lineman, Chad Wheeler, I think's his name. He was arrested because he basically beat the hell out of and choked out his girlfriend for not bowing to him. And he's pleaded not guilty, but he's probably guilty, and fucking let him rot, But here we go with this. It's like how the media portrays it. It should have said that the headline should have said NFL lineman arrested on domestic violence of his girlfriend. But what it says is white Seahawks offensive lineman arrested for beating his black girlfriend. Why? Why is white and black even in there? It's a domestic violence case. They were an interracial couple. So what? I mean, how is that? How is that relevant to the guy beating his girlfriend? That he's white and she's black. I just don't. It's like the roles were reversed. Why would it matter? I don't understand. But we want unity. But that's your headline. You say you want to be treated equal and we should be striving for unity and equality, but you put out headlines like that, and that's not just them. I mean, the lamestream media did the same thing. I'm sure Newsmax and OAN and all them, they probably made a point of it too. That's what I'm getting at. Why is that relevant? I mean, it's kind of like, when they go back to Charlottesville every time, you got one whacked out fucking kid, was 19, 20 years old, that took the flag's meaning a different way and killed those poor innocent people, and that sucked. And I hated the fact that he used a flag like that because, took pictures with it and stuff, because that's not what the flag means to everybody. It's not what the flag means to me, the Confederate flag. But it keeps going on with that, and it's like then they got a ban, and they got these statues taken. We know the history. I don't need to rehash the history, but that's this stuff's still going. It's still they're preaching equality, but this is still going on. The white and black shit, and now the LBGT stuff with the flag. I don't understand that. If we're Americans or an American embassy, we're not the gay American embassy. We're not a bisexual American embassy. We're Americans. The flag's the flag, right? For other countries, that American flag means America. The rainbow flag will mean, I mean, what, and I get both sides of it. What will it hurt to fly it? It probably won't. But why are we making an issue of it? Because they didn't fly it. It's an American embassy that flies an American flag. Now, if I said we should fly the Confederate flag over there, how many people would have a problem with that? Because you're flying the rainbow flag. This fly a BLM flag. This fly an Aryan Nation flag. This fly a Trump flag. You know, Trump supporters. You know, us deplorables. Well, how many flags are we gonna let go? Just whatever people want flags over there. I guess that's crazy to me. It's like, why is this even a thing? We got other stuff going on right now. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I could just let it pass because that's what this guy on MSNBC was saying. We're trying to do with the Capitol riots. Is like, well, they're trying to let it pass. They don't want to be. No, we're saying that it's not a good fucking thing. At least I am. I've never condoned the rioting. But when I watched some of the rioting footage, the riot footage, you called it, and they're being let in by the cops, for one, and you have MAGA people that were yelling at the cops, where's your backup? You need backup here. You're just letting them walk in there. That was some of the MAGA people saying that. So they didn't want all this shit either. But, you know, I didn't see the news. You know, I don't see the mainstream media. Then it shows video inside where they're walking through the ropes. Some people went into the main area and were fucking around, and some went into Pelosi's office. I mean, none of that shit's good. I'm not saying it's good. People got killed. People got hurt. It was a fucked up thing. And they're arresting all these people that were in the Capitol building. I mean, whether or not they did violence or not. That's one thing I didn't understand. If you didn't see them actually harming anybody or just, they were just there. But you face recognition and all this stuff and arresting them all. But the riots in Minneapolis, Kenosha, Portland, Seattle, Louisville. You see people looting the stores. You got face recognition on them, right? Why aren't we hunting them down? Because it's not your agenda. It's just not. You think because the Capitol building, it's more important than Kenosha, Wisconsin. Why is that? The people were getting killed in Kenosha. And they weren't taking over the Capitol, because if they did, they would have took it over. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. I know. I'm going to be fucking crazy. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a deplorable white supremacist racist. Yeah, I get it. I've heard it all before. I'm just stating my opinion, and it's what I happen to think. But, you know, that's the kind of rhetoric you're getting already from the new administration and the Democrats is, you know, punishment, swift, get to it, blah, blah, blah. It's like the Robin Hood app with the hedge funds the other day. And I've read more about this. But, you know, it's funny that they swooped in there, and in 24 hours, man, they wanted that shit taken care of. Man, it's like, you got to stop here. You're not trading this. You're not doing that. You're not doing this. You know, it's over. 24 hours in. But you can't figure out a stimulus package for COVID. Yeah, you just dicking the dog on that. Because, you know, Democrats basically want one thing and the Republicans want another. And it's not the COVID relief that they're worried about. It's all the other fluff. It's all the other fluff in there. So what's going to happen, based on what I'm hearing, in the best scenario, the guess they have, I guess, is that they're going to push this $1.9 trillion one through. I mean, the GOP they kind of counter-offered with $1,000 instead of $1,400. And not as much fluff in there, you know, get rid of shit fluff. But here's the deal as I know it, the $1.9 trillion. Going to be, you know, of course, COVID relief, $1,400 per individual. It makes under $75,000. Then you're going to have money for school. Okay, then school's getting back in, and Chicago has their shit stinking up today. With Beetlejuice, she's out there saying our schools are safe. You're going back, and the union saying, nah, we ain't going back because we want more money and this and that. And I agree with most of and I think bipartisans are kind of coming together on this a little bit. I kind of say if you don't go back to teach, which you're getting paid to do, and that's your profession, and you were making this money before, and now you want like 4 times the amount, or so you want some crazy amount of money, then you're getting fired, I guess. It's going to have to come to that point. You either go do your job or you're fired. I mean, that's how unions work. If you go on strike, they're just going to say, well, we'll replace you. And there's plenty of school teachers that would like jobs. I'm sure substitute teachers now, they might, fuck it. I'll be full time, and they'd probably love it. I mean, I don't know exactly how the teacher union works. Never been a teacher, but maybe I'll have to get with Arkansas one day and ask her, but she's a school teacher. But that's the only thing that, I don't know very little, except it sounds like they're being greedy. To every report, bipartisan reports all saying the same thing. So I'm not, like I said, I won't go too far on that because I'm not involved in that enough to know. And so you got the stimulus package, and you got the schools going back, and then they shoved a couple more. They always have to shove some fluff in there. And I don't even remember what it was. I was so mad when I was reading it. I was like, are you kidding me? This is just, with the climate stuff's going through the roof anyway, but there's a couple other things that are in there that just don't belong. I mean, just give us the COVID money that you want to give us. Get some people back to work. And I'm really pissed at myself right now because I knew I had all that stuff in my head earlier, what all was in that package. And they're basically saying the Democrats are going to say the hell with the GOP. We're ramming this too. And it's $1.9 trillion. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, I apologize for my mind wandered a little bit, and I forgot the other couple things that I seen on that package, but it's not, just the COVID should be enough. The schools, okay, help out the schools getting started. I get that 100%, but everything else, that should be the end of the bill right there. But, of course, there's more in there, and sorry, but I don't remember, but I know it was earlier I read it, and now my mind's blanking. I don't write shit down, so I just come in here. So that was like the eventful day I had, was reading about all that stuff. And then, you almost got to wonder at this point, the conspiracy theories and the conspiracy theorist. I've been talking all this stuff for so long. And, it's funny because we were called conspiracy theorists. Been called conspiracy theorists forever. But we always said, like, okay, you can't trust the media. They're doing some shaky shit, right? You definitely can't trust, like, the Wall Street people, the money mongers. You can't trust them. They're doing this underhanded, shady shit to the American people. And now we have this hedge fund thing, and we're like, the picture of if you watch King of the Hill, there's a meme going around with Dale Gribble, whatever his name is. And it says when a conspiracy theorist, theories are right, and it's like he's doing that number with this. Like, yeah, I got you. That's how conspiracy theorists are probably feeling today. It's like that's one thing that we were warned about: big tech, and Wall Street and the media. And big tech, of course, has already been screwing the pooch pretty hard by, just cancel culture and everybody. When he was president, still they banned him. And I'm one of those people. I'm like, I'm not diehard with that because it's like a private company. You can do what you want. But it's also at the same time, it's like grade school shit. And they said, well, they don't want Trump to rile up anybody and defamation and all this stuff. And it's like, but you'll let anybody else and their brother on there. Bill Cosby's on there. You know, O.J. Simpson's on there. It's like murderers on there. Whatever. Rapist. But Trump here, he's not allowed on there. But I'm sure there's people from the Middle East that can still tweet that probably cut people's heads off. It's just fantastic to me how you pick and choose. I mean, first it was Trump, then it was Linwood, and and Linwood's a little nut job. He's a little bit out on the crazy side. But is it worse than Nancy Pelosi spending her bullshit? I mean, Nancy Pelosi's got she's a scheming bitch. She's got so much stuff going on. They can't wait to try to impeach. They've already impeached him, but they're trying to do the trial. To make sure he never gets to run again with Trump. Starts next week. It's unconstitutional for one thing. He's not in office. You can't impeach a guy that's not in office. But they're going to make the rules as they go, and that's the scary part. Is you got a woman like that is just so. I don't know what more money they need. I mean, they've got enough money. She's she's going to have a lot more now because last week she bought $1.2 million worth of fucking Tesla stock, and the next day, good old puppet man, he signed an order saying all federal vehicles are electric vehicles. And is that not a conflict of interest? Is that just me being too conspiracy theory? Is that me being too QAnonish for you? That to see that she buys the stock one day and piss pants signs the paper the next day saying all federal vehicles should be electric. That's not going to play into her at all with that Tesla stock, now is it? It just seems a shame that people will say, well, it's just coincidence, or not all electric cars are Teslas, and it's like, yeah, I get all that. But it's like, with the timing's just some bullshit. It was kind of like the hydroxychloroquine shit that I talked about. With 2 days after the Biden administration, it's okay, it's fine. This stuff just keeps going down the rabbit hole farther and farther. Then my conspiracy theorist people that I watch, most of them gave up. But I watch some of them because they're ludicrous, And then I watch some because, hey, they make somewhat kind of sense. But they were talking, that Trump's legal team kind of bailed on him with this impeachment thing. Because he wanted to bring up the fraud again, and they just like, oh, we're not doing it. So I'm sure Giuliani will still be there. Jenna Ellis, they'll probably come running back. Sidney Powell will probably jump in the fray this time as an actual part of the team. So I think he'll be just fine because the impeachment itself is a sham anyway. But my conspiracy theory people are saying, you notice how the White House has been dark. Have we noticed how it's been dark for the last 10 days? The 10 days of dark, what do they call that? Dark, not darkness, darnkess or something. It's QAnon stuff. It's supposed to be the big bang. So tomorrow would be the big deal. It would be the 10th day, the day after. They also said, that Barry and Mike, they're in Guantanamo. And they even had one that was a deep fake. It had to be a deep fake, but it was a good deep fake. It was showed Barry Obama down there in Guantanamo in his cell walking back and forth. Yeah. Did I buy that? No. I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but not that extreme. But, it is kind of shitty that, the Chicago thing's going on with the schools. You're not hearing anything from Biden. He's running and hiding. He doesn't do anything. He says something, goes running back to the Oval Office like he's scared to death. But you got Barry and Mike that were both uh, Chicago people, Southsiders even, right? Supposedly. Why ain't they coming out and saying anything? What? Some of this other stuff. Why aren't the Clintons making their voice known? It's like, where are these people? I'm sure they're still here. I don't think they were executed in Guantanamo and using clones. No, I'm not that far, but it would be interesting to know why in the world they're not even saying or doing anything about any of this stuff. And then the only other thing I watched was a clip. It was a couple days ago. It was involving, think about, it was Donald Trump Jr. He was on, I think, Facebook. And he talked about the hypocrisy of this mail-in ballot thing. That somebody now is opposed to mail-in ballots, big hardcore. And amazingly, it's Amazon. Because I guess they have a big place down in Alabama or someplace. He was talking that want to unionize, and they're going to mail in ballot the union stuff, and Amazon's anti. No, we can't do that. We can't do the mail in ballots. There's no way. It was good enough to elect a president of the United States, or selecting, but it's not good enough for some fucking union vote in Alabama by Amazon, because Amazon don't want to have a union. They'd have to actually. I'm not a union guy, but it's like it must be that they would lose some money, or it's a hassle, or whatever. Amazon doesn't want it. I'm surprised Amazon doesn't do like the school teachers are probably going to have to do and say, well, if you don't want to do it, then you're fired. But, I don't know how unions even work. But I just thought it was funny that the hypocrisy, never ends with the left. It never ends. But Don Jr. was pointing that out, and it was interesting to me that now, all this stuff that was taboo or was, they said Trump people were bitching about it, and it wasn't right to be bitching about it. Now they're bitching about it. So it's like, okay. It all goes like back to the hydroxychloroquine when it was it was evil when Trump was using it, taking it, or promoting it. And then he's gone 2 days after he's gone. Hey, that's great. Go ahead and use it. Doctors can prescribe it. That's a big fucking deal right there, because a lot of these people might not have got sick. What would they have to have lose? But in June, you say you can't prescribe it. That's crazy. Somebody wants to take some hydroxychloroquine. It wasn't gonna do any damage. So you should just let people do it. How many people died that didn't need to? I don't know. I mean, and the numbers. I'll say again, the numbers. I don't think the numbers are always correct, but I also think any way to lower them would have been a good idea, right? I mean, we didn't have any ulterior motive to kill people. Cuomo was on there. He actually, the governor of New York, he was talking about, he's getting bashed for the nursing home, but he's like, well, if you die in a hospital or you die in a nursing home, what's the difference? You still die. I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of not very sympathetic, I guess. It's probably, somewhat true, but it's just the way it comes across. And that's a problem with a lot of the Democrats to me, is the way they come across. It's like every little thing we do. I mean, not even a little thing. I'm not going to say that way. I'm going to say like the Capitol riot, standard up here, right? But here we get, Minneapolis was down here. Portland, Seattle, Kenosha, Louisville, Portland again. They're all down here. This kind of Atlanta. Wipe them away. Capitol building, because it's Trump. And I'm still waiting to see the proof and hear the proof from the left of when Donald Trump said, go storm the Capitol. How I don't understand how we're still blaming the man for actions of others. That'd be like, okay, I'm blaming all of Maxine Waters and all that. I'm blaming you all for all the Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots. I want you all impeached, taken out of office, whatever. Pelosi, Waters, Harris. I want you all gone because you were saying some pretty derogatory things this summer about why they shouldn't be uprising. They probably will all over the country, and they should be. Or they're not going to let up. Or if you see somebody out in public, you make sure you get in there and tell them, get up in their face and don't go away. Blah, blah. You're egging on confrontations. All Trump said was, yeah, let's march up, Pennsylvania Avenue. The idiots, the far right extremists or whoever did, took it too far. Why am I getting blamed for that? It's the same as why am I getting called a racist every time? Because you think Trump is. I still don't see the evidence of that, but that's a whole nother podcast. He's been getting called everything. Racist, misogynist. Maybe he is a misogynist. I don't know. But I don't see the white supremacist thing on my buddies list. All my Trump supporter buddies are non-racist. But if you're going to lump me in with that because of who I voted for in an election, then you're not all there. It's just I don't lump every Democrat voting person into the libtard pool. I don't vote every one of them. I listen to what they have to say. And some of the stuff, like I've said in the past, I'm not anti everything Democrats say. But there's also 90% I'm not on board with. But I can have a conversation with a Democrat and not lose my shit. And not tell them that you're the scourge of humanity. And not tell them that you're racist against white people. Or that you're a fat shamer. Or whatever I could make up an excuse to call you. But being a Trump supporter, they want you to weed me out, reprogram me. Well, fucking reprogram that. I'm holding my finger up. You can't see it on the clock here. Fuck you. I don't need reprogram. Freedom in this country to vote who I want to. I've been over the age of 18 for 34 years now. I can vote for whoever the fuck I want. So can you. But, we'll see what happens in 6 months. Unfortunately, I'm going to get caught up in your shitty economy. And I got to deal with it like you guys do. And, Biden's speech was, don't see red and blue, he just sees America. Yeah, he's going to throw them all in the toilet. He's not going to just throw the Republican side in the toilet. Y'all dumb fuckers are coming with me. I mean, the hardcore Democrats are coming with me hatefully. But if you're just a Democrat, it's like, unfortunately, we're gonna feel the pain together. It's not gonna all work out for you, and because I voted for Trump and I'm Republican, I get sectioned off into this thing where only I get taxed more. Only I get, this happens to me, or only I get, 58% taxed on my 401k or whatever the hell bullshit he'll come up with. That's gonna be both sides, He won't see it. Yeah, he definitely won't see red or blue then. He'll see green, like the rest of them do. But we'll suffer together, I guess, because I just the clown world just keeps going on here. So anyway, I had to get it off my chest. That's what I did. We'll see what kind of other shit show entertainment we can get next. I'm hoping to God that it settles down and we quit spending all this fucking money, and the climate fanatics will surely see that we ain't got money to be doing all this shit right now. And, the weather has prevented some vaccinations from going out. And, I'm still not sold on the vaccine, but I hope everybody that needs one can get one. Even with the shitty weather, they want one. That's one thing I am pleased with, at least in this country, is the big dogs of working vaccination people that work so hard to get the vaccines and whatever it is. Like if it is Tamiflu or whatever, but if it's not, I'm proud that they busted their ass to get it done, and it is available for those who, even if I might think it's a placebo, they don't, or it might be 100% legit. I mean, that's the why in the road. You take one road or the other, fight the virus, or you take your chances with the vaccine. But it's pretty awesome how everything worked together, and we've got the vaccines rolling out to people that need or want them. So that's one bright spot, the only bright spot for a long time. But let's hope everything gets calmed down and gets better. That's the only hope I have at this point. But anyway, until next time, always trust and believe in your own convictions. And please, for the love of God, stay safe out there. See you next time on the 0 Hour.